those people who are comparing the, lists of executives produced by the NDC with that of the NPP are making a big mistake. There's no comparison between them. I mean, to quote Dr. Baumia, it's like, Chalawete and Camboo. You can't just compare the two. I've just, a while ago, taking you through the track record of Fifi Kwete, the track record of General Asedum Ketia. These are people who have never lost an election before, personally. An election they have been involved in. And they have been in many elections, at least in the NDC. To become a member of parliament, to become a candidate, you need to go through elections. To become a member of parliament, you go through elections. They have been there, done that, and won it. As against people who, at best, you can say, Stephen Ntim is a serial loser. I mean, until the sympathy that was extended to him recently, he's been a serial loser. JFK is a novice. So in terms of the understanding of the electoral process, the two from the NDC are light, away from the leadership of the NPP. So it's a complete mismatch to begin to do any comparison between the two. And Kamal himself admits that Fifi Kwete is a hard nut to crack. But then when he says so, he puts it within the NDC and how difficult it will be for us to deal with him.
That was the context on
Fifi Kwete's focus is not, to fight battles within the NDC. His focus is to fight, the battles that the NPP will be bringing, as far as the election of 2024 is concerned. And if it is about ego, Fifi Kwete is on record to have said, even before, he declared to contest the elections, that if General Mosquito still wanted to be the General Secretary, he was not going to contest. That tells you the reverence that he has for him, even before he was elected as national chairman. So that kind of, comradeship that exists between them will ensure that they craft a working relationship that will present the people of Ghana with the alternative that is required moving forward. Kamal talks about, how the NDC learns from the NPP in terms of politicking and political organization. Well, to some extent, not to all extent, I'll grant you that. And anybody who was listening to you will see clearly that the NPP's focus, as you espouse, has never really been about the conditions of lives of people. It's never really been about the transformation of this country. It's always been about winning an election and planning for the next election. It's always been about campaigning. It's always been about politicking. It's never about nation building. And so when you tend to have, advantage over us in terms of how to, organize your party and to deceive people in the Zongos and to deceive people in the north to win seats, I cannot contest you on that. But when it is about the deliverables, the bread and butter issues, I mean, the people of the north, for example, appreciate the government or the party that is in government and puts their needs ahead of everything else. Even as you win more seats and you appreciate in numbers, you do a poll and they tell you about the impactful infrastructure. For example, you talk about roads, you talk about electricity, you talk about hospitals, you talk about markets, and it is all in the north traced to the NDC's government. I mean, you and I from there. Which markets have you built? Which hospitals have you constructed or revamped? Which roads, major roads, have you transformed in the north? But the NDC is credited with this. The electricity that we even enjoy in the north today. And I say that sometimes what you guys do in the north is that we extend electricity to a community and they go and provide them with street lights. And then they say they are better because they have provided street lights. That is the politic. That is what Uncle Kwesi Pratt says about politics. It must lead to the transformation of the people's lives. It must make an impact on the voter.
Thank you. Come out.
The last time I checked, contrasting is almost similar to comparing. Okay. Okay, and that is how come when those days were in school, they will say compare and contrast. Okay, so if you have chosen to contrast, okay, and say we shouldn't compare, then I'm afraid you are saying the same thing anyway.
I didn't say you shouldn't contrast?
No, you didn't use the word contrast, but I'm saying that to a very large extent, you espouse certain, accolades or virtues of whoever you believe that you support.
I'm just saying it's a mismatch. I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm saying it's a mismatch.
Because it's important for us to make this point. What are we talking about this morning? Party organization. Okay? Parties, as properly enshrined in our law, set up in this country to help propel our democracy, have a way of internally organizing themselves. And even that, the Constitution enjoins them to be democratic about it. Okay? So we are talking about party organization. And I premised my argument earlier on based on how NPP organizes within and how NDC organizes within. And I believe when all of us have done the same. Now, in so doing, I sought to espouse our virtues to say that, look, as a political party, NPP, we are proper organizers of political party to drive in the benefits that we want, which is support. That is more reason why you asked me for statistics, and I gave you an example of how we are able to clinch on so many seats up north, which he has now accepted and says that to a large extent he wants to admit that they are learning lessons from us. I'm happy about that, and I think it's a good one. No, it's all right, it's all right. I'm very happy about it that NDC will sit here to tell you that, look, we are learning from NPP. To a large extent, our Grant Kamal, that's a good one. So Hine is a great, admission that you have made. But you see, it's not about individuals. So. And I want to repeat this. You can have the Fifi Kwete, you can have the Asedun Kete, you can have... It's about teamwork and strategy. Back to my point. Eric Chume is seated here. He contested to become a national officer of our party. God didn't grant him that. He doesn't cease to be a member of the party and strategically positioned to even contribute on how we're going to move as a team. Which he does and he has been doing. I do same. You understand? And I believe that if you also belong to NDC, you also do same. So I'm saying that, look, we are not perturbed.
But they have not said they are not going to do that.
No, I'm saying
Chairman Ufusian Profo has spoken that he will...
I'm not saying they will not do that. Yes. But I'm saying that on any day, whatever team or whichever team NDC presents, okay, doesn't shake us. It doesn't move us. And that is how come I gave you that example and said that they would even learn from us. And I'm happy a member of parliament for Tamale North belonging to NDC accept that, look, we are learning from the NPP. We're growing.
Yeah.
Okay? So,
like this propaganda. We are learning the propaganda you are
doing. So you see, the point I want to really make is that we are focused, we remain resolute. For the optics out there, somebody will say, hey, this person is a warlord, this person is dead, this person is a hard not to crack, this guy is violent. Okay? But it's not about violence. Eric put it rightly. He said, look, beyond violence, what can we do to win elections? We are ready, and we have done it before, and we are continuing to do that. My man says that yes, he will grant us that. How to deceive people and win election, NPP is good at it.
Yeah, we may have to.
And that when it comes to nation building, nation support, bringing people, we are not. Look, I can tell you, take the history of governance in this country from 1994. From 1992, since the inception of this Fourth Republican Constitution. Governance is about the people. Governance is about thinking how to put policies that appear pro-poor to the people and ameliorate or better their living standards. And when you take NPP and NDC, first of all, health insurance is a pro-poor policy. NPP. Metro mass transit for public transport system is a pro-poor policy. NPP. School feeding program to ensure that students are fed in school is a pro-poor policy. NPP. Capitation grant for primary schools is a pro-poor policy. NPP. As we sit here, okay, I can go on and on and on to the extent that NYEP, okay, National Youth Employment Program, to get the youth of this country put together and giving some employment and giving jobs, NPP, pro-poor policy again. And I've always challenged just as Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia has always said, name a single pro-poor policy emanating from the NDC. And yet the person sits here to tell me that they are good at governance.
I've actually given you a
That is rhetoric.
let me come
Complete rhetoric.
Let me come to you.